As we close off Women's Month here in South Africa, we continue to celebrate South African women who are and who were active agents of change and social transformation. And one such woman is, of course, the late, great Brenda Nokuzola Fassie, who was born on the 3rd of November 1964 in Langa, a township near Cape Town. Now, she was named after the American country singer Brenda Lee, and the daughter of a pianist. Brenda began singing to her mother's accompaniment at a very young age, and already at the age of 5, she had tourists paying her to hear her sing. So her first recording was made in 1983 with the hit single Weekend Special. That was not her first, by the way. This is already after she had been with Joy and had already traversed the landscape. But of course, we all remember Weekend Special and what a hit that was. And it became, of course, the fastest selling record of all time. Now, in the late 80s, she also began working with a legendary producer, Sello, Chico Twala, who in partnership with her proved to be one of the most successful in the South African music landscape. And joining us this morning to talk to and, of course, to pay tribute to the late icon is her son, who's, of course, a musician and artist in his own right, Bongani Fassie, and legendary music composer, producer, and performer himself. I remember Chico back in the day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much to both of you for coming.
How are you? Thank you for having us. It's truly an honor to be here, and thank you. We are truly grateful.
And I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to pay tribute to
Mama.
One of the best.
Yes.
Literally.
One of the best.
You cannot speak about South African music without speaking about Brenda Fassie.
Yes.
Brenda Fassie, actually, she inspired many of us. You know, when she released Weekend Special, I was not a musician at the time. She was with Brenda. It was Brenda and the Big Dudes.
And the Big Dudes, yeah.
You know, everywhere, every shebeen in South Africa was playing that song. Hence, even today, you know, that song is still one of the best.
It certainly is. I remember Weekend Special. I think the first time I heard it was at a wedding. I was still a tot. But I still have vivid images of that particular wedding and that song playing at the wedding. And it just left people gaga. Yeah. But, you know, of course, Bongani, you born into all of this.
Yes, I was definitely born into this, and I won't lie, I was never ready. But I must say that it just has been such a privilege to be, you know, one of the chosen to actually be a son of the legendary Brenda Fassie, which is my mother. And when you mentioned something about you heard that song in a wedding, there's no wedding that happens where her songs are not being played. And I must also add that with Weekend Special now celebrating 41 years, I must say that the contingency that happened after, which is when Baba Sello came into the picture, is something very significant for the world and for my family, because they were brother and sister more than just a working partner. So I just need to add that in.
And it's important.
Yeah,
it's so important that we have the opportunity to tell the stories in the voices of the protagonists in those stories. Yes. And which is why I'm so glad I have the two of you here this morning. And, you know, Chico, you say when Weekend Special was released, when Brenda Fassie and the Big Dudes were doing their thing, you were not a musician yet. But talk to us about how your working relationship came about.
Well, the first time I met Brenda, it was in Flareoff. She was in Flareoff. EMI asked me to produce her at the time. And meeting her for the first time, giving her the melody of Too Late for Mama. That was the first album that I did with Brenda. I couldn't believe, you know, what came out, because I thought, you know, she will struggle a bit, because the style of music that she was singing at that time was more disco, straight line.
Bubblegum, yes.
You know, but with Too Late for Mama, you know, just singing 2-3 melodies, she said to me, let's go to the studio now. And when we got to the studio, oh, what a talent. You know, like I said that, you know, she was my hero. And then now me producing my hero was like, wow.
Wow.
You know, it was really a privilege.
And it was a match made in heaven. You know, I still
Truly.
remember
Truly.
that video of Too Late for Mama. And I think I watched it a few weeks ago. It came up somewhere. And I remember watching it because now, you know, all these years later,
Yes.
you watch it from a different perspective,
perspective.
through a
True.
different eye. And you look at, as you say, the melody, you look at the simplicity of it,
True.
and yet how impactful
It was.
it was and still is.
Baba Sello has been always a very, I must say that he's a visionary. Please, he's a visionary to the standpoint he actually sees the invisible, and his work speaks, you know, in volumes. I just wanted to ask, what is your favorite song?
Of Brenda?
Yes.
There's a certain song that I particularly liked that wasn't very popular, sir.
Okay.
But I liked the song.
Time up.
Time up.
No, I'm trying to think of the lyrics. I don't know where you've been so long.
Oh wow, that's
That song.
Wow.
Okay.
I liked that
Okay.
song
You know-
particularly, but of course I like all the others,
Yes.
the more popular ones
Popular
as
songs,
well.
yes.
But for some reason, that song resonated with me.
I love that. I love that. I love that. There are so many songs that Mama had made, but that were not released. And there are some songs that were out, that were released and weren't pushed. So I really appreciate the fact that you mentioned a song that that's not in the public domain, that has been celebrated in the public domain. Thank you for that, Mama.
Yeah.
I truly appreciate that. That means
Because-
you really, really love Mama.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Because you know, she was special. You know, and with everything that was going on at the time, she stood out. I remember Time magazine had dubbed her the Madonna,
Madonna.
of the
South Africa.
townships.
Yes.
You know, and like, and I thought, no. Madonna's got nothing on Brenda
Yes.
Fassie. Madonna's got no range to speak of. You're going to go to karaoke and sing Madonna, there's no range there. Brenda Fassie, on the other hand, you know, Brenda was just special, and her range, you know, how low she could go and hit the
Yeah.
high notes, and all of
In
that
fact,
was
my
her.
manager Knox my manager Knox said, like, you know, actually how it's supposed to be, Bongs, is that Madonna is the Brenda of the townships.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yes.
But I want to speak to you, Bongani. You know, I've been watching the reality series that you have featured in, and again, how does it feel for you? You know, and I've always wondered, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to ask you, the weight of being the son of someone as iconic as Brenda Fassie.
I know that Baba Sello can back me up. I've never been pressurized in being the son of Brenda Fassie. I've always been a humble person, and even Baba Sello, he raised me. I can't answer you on that because I've never actually been under that type of pressure. Yes, there were certain things that were happening, like at school and whatnot, but you know, when you have a love for your parents, I think I handled it with grace, I feel, and I'm still on that journey. So it has never really, you know, made me feel some type of way. By God's grace, that is.
And that's fabulous. And of course, you've had Chico here holding your hand through it all. And a lot has been said about, you know, the two of you and your relationship. And I'm
Yes.
so glad that we're able to debunk that by bringing the two of you here
Let's
together.
do it today.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think, let me be honest with you. Like Brenda, like, you know, in a family, in a true family, there'll be disputes. And then when you see that them coming together again. It's the same with Bongs. I think a lot have been. I'm always with him. You know, he always called me to assist him with whatever. If there's a project, whatever, he wants to do something, I'm always there for. He's like my son. Just like his mom being so like a sister, and it's been like that. So whatever that is there, I mean, obviously, people have the freedom to say whatever they want, but behind doors, We're very, very close.
May I please add? Baba Sello's a father that I never had.
And I think that says it all right there. And I'm glad we had this opportunity to have the two of you, make this clear to
We've
South
had
Africa
our fights
in your own voice.
We've had our fights and we've had our ups and downs, but you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. That's the truth. That's the utter truth.
So-
and whatever anybody has said, I know they're coming from a standpoint of not understanding the truth and the intricacies that are actually there. So on that note, I must say that Ubaba Sello has been there for me, has always been there for Muma, and he's still here. And I'm not speaking for him because uthiwa indoda iyazimela ngaphansi kwelanga izithethe yona, and utata has been there through thick and thin. Yes, we've had fights and whatnot, and we've had so many discussions about what your Twitter's saying and your social media, but at the end of the day, they even know my children, that Utata's been there for us.
Brenda and Bongani. And
Yes,
Reloaded.
Yes, Reloaded. This is my daughter, Brenda Fassie, and this is my son, Bongani Fassie.
So there you have it. Reloaded, literally.
Yes, reloaded.